It's been a good number of years now since I've met Leo. When I first met him, he was in a wheelchair for pretty much all his waking hours. He wasn't able to walk. He was actually quite nonverbal and quiet. Interestingly enough, I sort of had the opportunity to work with him on and off for short bouts of time over a number of years, and incredibly, I had the opportunity to see him change. Initially, I was drawn to the profession because I was a bit of an athlete, I guess, growing up. So I played a lot of sports. And I feel like with sports naturally comes injuries, which leads you into like rehab or physio and those kinds of things. And so I went into physiotherapy thinking or assuming I would work with athletes, only to find out that I kind of fell in love with the brain and neurology because it just ended up being a little more fascinating, interesting. A typical workday for me looks like a mix of being on the computer a little bit, catching up on emails, connecting with our team, and then probably the majority of my work is spent with patients. To prepare for a patient's session, I usually have to do a lot of background information before they come in. So a lot of chart reviewing, getting an understanding of perhaps what's their diagnosis, what led them to be in the program that they're in terms of just understanding what they may need help with. Gathering all the equipment that's going to be needed to make that happen. And then that just sets the stage for preparing what I have in mind in terms of types of assessments, types of treatments, and then just sort of laying down a plan, but then also being quite flexible, and you do what you think would be better to just most benefit the patient. You feel like your hand can still probably have a little more stretching and weight bearing when you can. I'm just curious if you have any more clonus. No? Has your foot been bouncing? Because it's actually not bouncing at all right now. The most fulfilling part of my work is probably just the ability to work with individuals and see them work through their goals. So often people will come in and have major issues from whatever neurological problem they've had, and to be able to work with them towards goals that are meaningful to them and see them realize some of those goals is very meaningful. This is an old video of Leo from 2018, earlier days of when he started walking. Best part about working at UHN is probably having some really nice support from colleagues, managers, and some of the upper management, where I guess you feel that people are really listening to you and are willing to help you and support you as you grow as a person as well as a clinician. I think the most memorable thing in the last little while since COVID is actually forming this band that started as something just to bring joy in a bit of a down time. And it's become something that is very moving and touching when we have patients join. Sometimes they sing, sometimes they play instruments if they can, do percussion. And now a weekly event. My name is Vanessa Ong. I'm a physiotherapist at Toronto Rehab, UHN.